Alrighty, all welcome back to the channel. My name is Tommy, and of course this is the Gallery Backyard Barbecue, and I definitely have a good show for you today. I've got the tale of two pizzas. I've got one that is going to be perfectly round. I've got another that is going to be the ugly stepchild. That said, you are quickly going to learn why the ugly stepchild is definitely the pizza to go with. What I want to do here is let's jump on over to my Masterbuilt XT and let's get that fired up. All right guys, look, you definitely know the deal here as we try and dodge the sun, and firing up that Masterbuilt XT could never be so simple. I will top it off, get those fire starters in, and then torch it up. Now look, after about 2-3 minutes or so, you will start to see a little bit of smoke billowing out from the hopper. That is going to be your cue to get that control panel all fired up, and we will set that temp on that control panel probably about 450 or so. I will start to bring up that stone to temp, and you are going to want a final stone temp anywhere between 450 and say 500, maybe 5 1/4. Once all that is done, you can shut everything down. And now let's talk about a little bit of simple dough recipe that I always use. Alrighty, look, so this is definitely my go-to recipe anytime I am going to make up a homemade pizza. And the first thing you are going to want is you are going to want some water anywhere between 103 to 110 or so. Once that perfect temperature is reached, you are going to get one of those packets of active dry yeast in. Also hit it with a little bit of sugar, maybe a teaspoon or so. Give that a little bit of mix up, and you are going to wait about 5 minutes or so. At that time, it should be nice and frothy. Is that even a word? And don't forget, this full recipe is going to be down in the description under show notes. From there, get your flour, and you are going to hit it with a little bit of honey, hit it with a little bit of olive oil and a little bit of salt. Then you are going to make a little trench in the middle, and you are going to pour in that frothy liquid. Basically what I do here is I get myself a fork, and I am going to start incorporating that goodness together. Once you get it all crumbed out, all incorporated together, get your flour board and get it on. You know what to do here. You are basically going to bring it all together and just knead it. You got to knead it for about 4, 5, 6 minutes or so. Get that perfect consistency. If you need to add a little bit more flour, go ahead and do so. At that point, I've got an oiled bowl. I will get that bowl in the bowl, get it loosely covered. I will put it up somewhere high, somewhere warm, and wait about an hour or two, and it'll double in size. It'll rise in size. At that point, we are ready to build ourselves a pie. So every time I do one of these pizza shows, someone always asks, how's it do on a frozen pie? So we are going to get started right there. And of course, my stone temp is up and over 500. That is going to be perfect. My frozen pizza of choice is always going to be Red Baron. And this is that 4-cheese classic. And there is nothing left to do here. Just pick it up, put it in, easy peasy, wait about 10 minutes or so, and I will bring you guys back. So this one is going to clock in right around that 12-minute mark. And one thing I have found out with these frozen pies in any of these pits, as you are definitely going to take off about 3, 4, 5 minutes or so from the directions. That being because the stone is there. In the oven, there is no stone. And as we look at this pie here, it is perfect. It is perfectly round, of course. We will slide that out here on the board. Now it is time to turn our attention to that ugly stepchild. So here is where my Franken pizza is born, aka the ugly stepchild. But it all starts out perfectly as I've got my board all floured up. I will get my well-risen ball on the board, and I will just start to work the dough, keeping it as round as possible. Everything is looking good. Do your best here. It does not have to be the perfectly round pizza that you just get in a pizzeria, or how I did on that frozen pizza. It really doesn't matter. So So stretch it, work it, you know the deal. Now look, once I lift up the rounded pizza dough, I start to know that I am in trouble, as I could see the moisture on the board, which tells me there is moisture from the ball, from the humidity out here. It is crazy. So that is warning sign number one. And look, if you need to use a rolling pin, go ahead and use it. It's no big deal. As a thinner pie for me is better than a thicker pie any day of the year. At that point, it is sauce it down. I will get a nice even spread. And now look, I am a cheese guy all the way. I am going to get plenty of mozzarella on top of the sauce. And as you can see, Molly is definitely looking at me at this point and just laughing, as she knows what is coming. And what is coming is definitely going to be some chunk fresh mozzarella down. I told you I am definitely a cheese guy. At that point, I'm going to hit it with a little bit of garlic powder and a little bit of salt. Now, problem number two is going to come in, where I am going to grab my too small of a peel. It is at that point, before that point, that I should have went ahead and got my screen, because once you get it up on this screen, you just take the screen and you put it right in the pizza oven. There is no transfer from the peel to the stone. It works very well, but I didn't have the screen out here. I didn't want to run in the house to get it. So I am just going to try to get that peel, get that dough on top of the peel, and get that all transferred into the pit onto the stone. I will speed it up. I will save you the laughter, but there is no stopping now. So I am just gonna do the best I can do. And I gotta tell you, that ain't half bad. Sure, it is the ugly stepchild, but it is all intact. And as that stone does its thing and heats up that dough underneath, it'll all come together. I will shut it down. I will wait only about 3-4 minutes or so. That is all it is gonna take. And I will bring you guys back and we will look at the final product. So look, this one is going to clock in right at that about 4.5 minute mark. And I definitely dig doing pizzas on any of the pits, but this Masterbuilt XT was easily one of the best. As we get that peel underneath, and come on guys, give it to me. That ain't a half bad looking pizza right there. I mean, the cheese is nice and bubbly. We got a thick outer ring crust, although it kind of goes like this. We will slide that pizza out on the board. We will wait about a minute or two, then I will bring you guys back. We will slice it all up, do that taste test, talk about it, and close out the show. All right, guys, so look, that is basic 101 on how not to panic if you are making a backyard pizza. I mean, you do not have to come out great at all, and I knew I was in trouble from the get-go. Once I decided to build this pie out here, it is about 85 degrees out here. The humidity is high. I am not a pizza maker. I am a barbecue channel. That said, I did know all my ingredients were right. The dough was right. So even though I figured I may run into a problem, transfer it out from the board into the pit, I knew it was going to turn out right. Maybe the ugliest pizza you've ever seen, maybe not even the ugliest pizza you've ever seen. But I can tell you one thing, it is going to taste like a New York, New Jersey style pizza. There is no doubt about it. You know, so here it is here. I mean, look, this is a real channel. This is a real barbecue channel. I was not going to panic. I was not going to start the video over because, hey man, who cares what it looks like as long as it tastes good? And we definitely have that nice crunch. Looks like a nice slice here, and we definitely got, I would say that is a pretty perfect bottom. And there ain't nothing wrong with this as Molly's over there panting away. Maybe you can hear her. Let me go in on that taste test. Wow. You know, and even when you get these little, and that's amazing by the way, even when you get these little crispy edges here, that is, personally, I for one loves that, man. This is cheesy, cheesy good. That is perfect. Again, and cheers to you all, and happy pizza to you all. For those that want to hear the crunch, that's for you. I mean, you know, the moral to this story here is when you are doing something like a pizza and you are more into like say like the barbecue or something, just don't panic. Get it done. It doesn't matter what the pizza looks like. Your family may chuckle at you a little bit when they go on in for that first bite. I guarantee you they are going to be all in, because this is going to rival any pizza I get around here. This is a nice thin kind of cut right here. So I got to tell you, this is probably the best tasting, ugliest pizza that I've ever made in my life. So there you go. And that just proves my point. I didn't get the time to show you the stone, but the stone was at 450, or maybe I did, I can't even remember. The stone was at about 450 to 500 Fahrenheit. That is exactly where you need to be. They're Masterbuilt to get there. I didn't even have to turn it up too high. I do believe I was about 500 on the pit. Right there on that bottom grate that's all. You do not need no fancy Masterbuilt pizza attachments or pizza ovens. You can do it all, right on the grill grates with a stone. That is going to cook out that dough to perfectly where you want it to be. That is all you need to produce pizza. And I can tell you one thing, if I had 2 or 3 of them to make, even though that is way too much for me to do, I can pull them out, put them in, pull them out, put them in. That is certainly no problem there. So look, that is the ugliest, best tasting pizza pie here at the Gallery Backyard Barbecue, all done up on my Masterbuilt XT. I am friggin' dying out here. I don't know if you can tell, it is brutally hot out here. I gotta cut out of this one now. I gotta get in the house, finish this up, and then get in the pool. Again, my name is Tommy. I appreciate you all for watching. Any question, leave them down in the description. And until next time, we will see you soon.